Hello garden friends. I wanted to make a follow-up video to something I said, back in June, I guess. I mentioned something called proliferations, and I wanted to show you what I meant by that. This daylily, by the way, is called Blueberry King, and it's still going. This is September 14th, still going on reblooms. You can see the grasshoppers in the flowers. We have serious grasshopper issues this time of year. They're gigantic, and I'm sure you can hear them in the background. But I'm coming over here to this daylily called Storm Shelter. I noticed earlier in the year it had some fabulous proliferations. And a proliferation is when a new daylily starts to grow at a node along the stem of a daylily plant. And I've left these on there about as long as I dare. I'm going to have to just break it off so you can see better. So you can see it's growing this new little fan just right along the stem of this plant. And what I like to do before I break them off, I like to see some little roots growing at the base. And I hadn't seen that yet, so that's why I had left it. But it's got a little bit of a start. But this is turning brown. This stem, the bottom of this stem is turning brown. And once it completely turns brown, no more nutrients are going to be able to go up the stem and feed this proliferation. So there's only so long you can leave it. Now we won't have a frost here for probably at least a month. Maybe more, maybe 6 or 8 weeks even. But if this starts to turn brown and it doesn't feed this proliferation anymore, then it's going to die. So you have to keep watching them if you have these and time it carefully. And I don't want to lose these. This is a gorgeous daylily. It just got blooming for the 3rd time this year. It's called Storm Shelter by Carol Emmerich. So I'm really kind of happy to have these proliferations. This plant, I don't know what the odds are of getting this to grow. Some do better than others, but I'll show you inside what happens. And everybody has a different opinion on how you should take care of these proliferations. Some people will just take this, stick it in the ground, and hope these roots reach down to the dirt and start growing. I'm too much of a control freak for that. I usually take them inside and put them in some water just up to where this root, like just below where that root is starting to come out. And that root starts growing down towards the water. And after I get a couple good roots, then I pot it up and put it in some dirt, usually put it in my hoop house for the winter, and then I'll put it out next year. So I have one inside that I picked several weeks ago, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But I've got another prolif on another branch, and I'm going to go ahead and grab it. So you can, after you get used to seeing these, you'll notice, all this big healthy foliage, and it just seems a little maybe taller than everything else, and that's how I usually notice them. But I've got another one. Let's see if it has any better roots. About the same. One little root there. So let's see. I can't remember if I had any more on this plant. It seems like almost every single scape had one on it. So here's another one right here. So I'm looking along these scapes and seeing if I have any signs of more, but I think that's it for now. I do have another plant in a different part of the garden that I think has some prolifs too. My daughter peeled back some of the darker leaves and found some more roots. So let me take a walk and find some more prolifs for you. So this daylily is called So Lovely. It always blooms late, and it's still sending up buds right there. But you can, and it always has lots of proliferations. You can see that one along that scape right there. I don't see any roots coming on that one, so I'm going to leave it alone for now. It's still got a good amount of green, so I think it'll survive a little longer. So we're going to let that one grow for a while. Okay, so I brought the proliferations up to the house. I cut off some of the stalk, the scape, so it will fit in the water. It was a little too tall, and I cut all the brown off the top. That's dead. It wasn't going to do any good anyway. And I cut them all to about the same length, so they're just with those little root nodes touching the top of the water. And you need to watch your water with these because they do still have that little bit of green, so these will actually suck up a lot of water. So this will probably be half empty in the morning, and I'll need to add some more to keep those proliferations hydrated. But this is the same plant. This is Storm Shelter, and I cut this prolif probably 2 weeks ago, I think, and its little root nodes were exactly the same as the ones that I have picked today. But this is what it does when it gets near the water. It just sends out great new healthy roots. And actually, let me set it down so I can, this not as healthy looking one is the original. So I think that this brown root here is one of the original ones. And once I brought it inside, all these new roots formed, and that one never really did form. Let me see if I can tell. Yeah, it's hard to aim this thing. That brown one there, I think, was one of the originals also. So, but it's doing very well. Not much longer, and I will put this in some dirt and let it continue to grow roots. These are all in a windowsill in my house. It's on the north side, so it doesn't get any direct sun. Just gets soft light all day. And this is another one I picked about a week ago. It's called Cosmic Kaleidoscope, and I wanted to show you this one because it has so many fans on it. Let me set it down. I think I counted 6 or 7 there, and I would never try and pull these apart. It's certainly not at this stage. So I'm just leaving them all on the scape and letting them form roots, and hopefully they'll all just they'll all create roots. I can plant them together, and we'll have a nice little clump of plants. It's a beautiful daylily, so I'm excited about that. I have 2 prolifs off of that plant that look just like this with like 6 or 7 scapes on them. So we'll see how that does. But that's it for proliferations. If you treat them well, you really should be able to get them to bloom within 1 or 2 years. So it's just another way to get a free plant out of a daylily. That's it for now. Happy gardening, everybody.